What's up, YouTube? Good morning. I just got off of PT and I decided today I'm going to make a YouTube video about my experience in the Navy thus far, where I've been, my advice that I would tell you if you're going to join. Specifically, right off the bat, I am a CM, construction mechanic. I'm a CM3, so that means E4. I've been in 3 years and 7 months, and if this is your first time seeing me ever, please follow, subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, you probably found me from Instagram or TikTok, or maybe just scrolling through YouTube. I'm just gonna pick up this camera intermittently through the day. Today, this morning, we had a formation run with the whole company. Ran, sang cadence, all on step, all of that beautiful goodness. And so now I'm gonna shower, get ready for work, and talk soon. So right off the bat, you guys, I want to emphasize that I'm not a recruiter. I am not trying to recruit you. I do not wish to make you join the Navy under my name or like by my influence or none of that. I've had a lot of ups and downs in the Navy, good and bad, as has everyone else. And I've realized that my purpose is helping. So this is my attempt to help you, whoever is watching, with a little bit of insight, maybe answer some questions, or maybe just give you some security with maybe your potential decision joining the military. Because I know whenever I joined, all I would do is like search TikTok and look up hashtag Seabees, and see if anybody had posted anything that I could maybe like get tidbits of information off of, just to have some clarity on like what I'm getting into and like what I'm gonna be doing with my life. So this is what I'm doing. Not a recruiter. This is not a recruitment tactic. Just here to help, hopefully. So like I said this morning, we did a company level PT, which essentially just means that everyone in my company got together, all together, and ran a mile and a half while singing cadence and formation. Hoorah, morale. Usually you can expect a PT about 3 times a week, but I will add, no one place is the same, no one command is the same. They're all going to have different hours and things of that nature. So for us, we formally PT 3 times a week and PT on your own twice a week. So it's a 5-day shift or rotation of PT. It's just either it's with your team or it's on your own at the gym or whatever you partake in doing. But like I said, no one place is the same. Working hours, you guys, don't overcomplicate the military. It is simply just another job. It is very unique, but it is very similar to a normal job. We work essentially from 7 to 4:30 every day, with lunch being from about 12 to 1. But I do have to bounce right now and head to where I'm supposed to be for work today. It's pretty unique. I am a construction mechanic, but this week I have not been in the shop. I've been helping out at the armory for a upcoming field training exercise. So, just like that, you guys, it's lunchtime. It's actually been a few hours, 3 or 4 hours since the last clip, but that's because I can't take you guys everywhere. I can't talk about everything. Not that it's like super top secret and cool, it's just not appropriate most times for operation security kind of things. So, since it is lunchtime, I want to share with you guys what a single sailor, if you come into the Navy with no family members, no wife, no kids, what you can expect. You're going to be eating at the galley. You're entitled to eat at the galley 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The galley is very similar to a high school cafeteria kind of style thing. Like you walk up with a plate, get your food, sit with your homies and whatnot. Really nothing too crazy. And the reason I share this detail about like the galley, right, is because I remember whenever I was coming in, I had no like insight on how my day would be structured or what it would look like or where I'd sleep or where I would eat or the basics. I kind of just winged it. I had little to no information about what I'm getting into. And so if you're a single sailor, meaning no wife or husband and no children, you will be entitled to eat at the galley. That is where you're going to get all of your food. Not saying that you can't go and buy groceries for your barracks room, but if you really wanted to, you would not have to buy anything as far as like groceries wise and eat all your meals at the galley. That's the best way to save money, especially if you came in as an E1 such as I did. You know, you don't make a lot of money. I made, I think, $750 every 2 weeks as an E1. And then it gradually increases E1, 2, 3, 4. E4 is what I am now, like I've mentioned earlier. But don't let that intimidate you. A lot of the things that you have afforded to you, such as a place to live, a place to eat, and things like that, are essentially free. So $750 can go a long way, or like my checks now are like $1,300 every 2 weeks. They can go a long way if you are wise. I made a post on TikTok in hopes to get some questions in the comments that maybe I can answer, and it seems that I have no questions. So maybe I'll go through some of my DMs and see what kind of like the most common questions are or conversations that I've had with people. This conversation essentially is asking, what ASVAB score would I need to be a Seabee? To be honest with you, I don't know what the parameters are, the lowest and the highest. I don't think there would be a highest that, would rule you out of being a Seabee, but there definitely is a lowest. I'm unsure. Like I said, I'm not a recruiter. It's not my job to necessarily be up to date on all of the changes of ASVAB scores and waivers and all this stuff. So keep that in mind if some of these questions arise. Like, I don't know everything. But from personal experience, I got a 55 on the ASVAB, and going into boot camp or going into MEPS, I knew what rate I wanted to pick. I wanted to be a CM. I had a friend whose dad was a CM. We got in contact before I left for boot camp. He filled me in, influenced me to be a CM, so that's what I picked. I really recommend knowing what you want when you go and talk to everybody at MEPS. If it's CM, if it's BU, if it's SW, if it's UT, EA, CE, know that, look into it, research it. That way you can be certain on what you want when you go to MEPS. And even if you're not wanting to be a Seabee, any rate, know what you want to be. Find people that have been that if it's on TikTok or whatever, reach out to them. Try and just get as much information as you can. Look into it, read about it, and all that kind of stuff. And then there's a lot of questions that I get about the availability of spots being a CM or a Seabee rather. It's all based on numbers in and numbers out. Manning, it's all based on numbers. It's a numbers thing. So what I will say is, if you're certain about what you want to be, don't settle for anything less because you feel pressured at MEPS. If you have a good recruiter, they're going to work with you, they're going to work for you and secure you that spot. So just be certain about what you want. That way, if there's not spots open or whatever the case, you can come back. Don't be afraid to take that time for yourself, because it's ultimately going to be your life for the next 5 years. This person asks about ships. Me personally, I've never been on a ship. It doesn't appear like I'm going to be on a ship. I'm not saying that it's outside of the realm of being possible, but it's just not very likely as a Seabee to be on a ship. There are certain scenarios when you might. I've had some friends be on MUs, Marine Expeditionary Units. Basically, you take a ship to somewhere and do whatever the mission is, but it's rare. It's not very common that Seabees will be on ships. Let's find maybe another conversation. More people having questions. Okay, so this person says, I want to know if it's worth joining the Navy. I've seen a ton of videos where people are having fun, doing things they love. Then I see boot camp and it just makes me not even want to look in that direction. I've heard a ton of things about living quality and stories how people regret joining. I'd love to work on a carrier, but also heard you're able to choose your job even if they tell you are. I'm just super torn. It's kind of a lot there, but do not be intimidated by boot camp. It is by nature intimidating. It's by nature makes you nervous, and all of that is natural. But I will say, I think majority of people can make it through boot camp. It's not designed for people to be eliminated out of. It's designed to help you get to that level of graduating boot camp. It's a lot of times boring. It's very uncomfortable because you're going to be away from everything you've known and thrown around 80 something people. So in a lot of ways it's uncomfortable, but not very hard. You're told what to do every day. It's a set thing. You're told exactly what to do, exactly what to learn, and all of that nature. So if you go in there with no expectations at all, you have no idea what to expect, and you just go in there to learn and just absorb all the information you can, boot camp is something that you will look back on and laugh about and be nostalgic about, and it'll be one of those things that you conquer and be proud of yourself in a way about, like, wow, I really did that. So boot camp should not deter you away from the Navy or any branch. It shouldn't deter you from any branch. And then that guy mentioned, see tons of videos about quality of life, people regret joining. Here's the thing, it's up to you what you learn here. You can learn your trade, you can learn all of how battalions operate and all the nitty-gritty, the little things. You can learn all of that stuff, yes, but the thing that I hold at most value that I've learned here is I've been given the opportunity to learn more about myself. I've been given the freedom to discover myself without stressors, as in the forms of being in my hometown. Everybody is from what they consider their hometown, right? And you have family, you have drama, you have friends, you have this. There's a lot of things that you can become clear about whenever those things are off of your mind, if that makes sense. So you learn what you want to learn. So if you want to join the Navy or any branch, if you want to join the military to get away and experience and meet new people, then I'd say that's a pretty damn good reason to join. Just become clear on your why. Just become clear on your intention with joining whatever you're going to join. Spend a lot of time considering it, figuring out what you want out of it, because ultimately if you come in with that structure mentally, you're going to achieve so much out of it. Not even face value stuff. You're going to learn so much about yourself. I believe it's who, not how. It's who we have to become or who we have to create out of ourselves to get what we want in this life. So it's not about what you're doing, it's about who you're becoming intentionally and moving in that direction. But anyways, you guys, for now, that's all I got. I hope maybe that was some good insight. I'm going to post another TikTok video, hopefully attracting some questions that I can fill in with people that are not in the Navy yet, considering whatever, and bringing them to this video, maybe to pick my brain a little bit and figure out what people are confused about. So right now, update. I'm waiting on my buddy Josh to pull up. We're gonna go get some tacos for lunch, and if he's down, we're gonna get his perspective on Navy experience, maybe some more insight. What's up, homie?
What's up?
Hey, so I'm doing a video today.
Oh, video.
Yeah.
Oh, we're live.
Yeah,
Yo.
we're live right now. I'm doing a video today, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Basically explaining my experience in the Navy.
Okay.
All right? And reason being, the amount of messages I get on TikTok, people asking crazy questions, like,
Yeah.
I don't have all the answers because I'm like, that's not my job. I'm not a recruiter. I don't have all the information as far as like ASVAB, MEPS, and everything. So I figured I could most definitely share what I've experienced. So like the 2 deployments, 3 years, 7 months. Kind of give them the rundown on the galley, like what you can expect if you're a single sailor below U4, you know, stuff like that. Barracks, PT, formal 3 times a week, PT on here 2 days. Like kind of the basics, because I don't know about you, but when I came in, I didn't know shit.
Yeah, there's not very much information other than like, if there is information, it's all the same. Like,
Yeah.
It's just the basics, like boot camp, and that's pretty much it.
Yep, exactly. So I kind of wanted to emphasize like the smaller details, like hours.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like explain it just simply like as a regular job and not like all fluffed up for like recruitment.
Yeah.
So that being said, how long you been in? Where you from?
Okay.
What's your name?
Yeah.
Yeah, just the basic.
My name is Joshua Ceballos. I'm 21. I'm from Tulare, California. I've been in 3 years, 6 months. Got about a year and a half left. I'm excited. Looking forward to what's after this, right? But yeah, my experience in the military has been pretty good. Meet a lot of people from different places. I mean, depending on where you go in the Navy, you can travel a lot. You might not travel as much as others, but yeah, you get to explore the world for sure.
Where you been?
I've been to Okinawa, Japan. My first deployment, that was like 6 months, 6.5 months, and then my second deployment, I went to South Korea, Jinhae. So yeah, it was very beautiful. Definitely very, very fortunate to have been deployed there.
Mm-hmm. And would you say the things that you've learned while being in the Navy, that are important are like personal development, and rather than like military work kind of stuff? Like, as far as we're both CMs, And so we work in the same place. We've worked a lot together. And I would say, in my personal opinion, the things that I've learned being in the Navy is all like internal. So like I've learned so much about myself, about what working as a team kind of means and what it should look like. Not all the time does it look like that, but what it should look like, or what I can expect moving forward, like in my life. It's a good place to like grow up in a way.
Yeah, 100%.
I haven't mentioned where I've been for deployments. My first one was Okinawa with this dude. We were actually roommates. So depending where you go, you'll have barracks that are like, you have a single room, like a college dorm in a way, just no bunk beds, it's just you. And then sometimes you'll have like an open room where it's like 2 beds and a kind of a bigger room. And that was our situation on our first deployment. And my second deployment was Papua New Guinea. There's a lot to unpack there, so I kind of won't go into detail, but that's where I've been. And yeah, it's lunchtime. All right, you guys, I thought it'd be a nice idea to try and record this outside of my car, but it is so windy out here. Just blew my glasses off the table. I'm afraid that the wind will be so loud that it will interrupt the quality of the video, so pardon me if the video is pretty bland. I'm going to be sitting in my car, but a lot of useful information, so I don't think it should matter too much. Well, screw that idea. Definitely too windy out there. I would hate to record all of this and have all of the audio ruined because of the wind. So before lunch, where we left off was I was going to make a TikTok video requesting some questions that I could bring up in this video and hopefully answer. Spoiler alert, nobody dropped any questions, so I asked AI to help me. Before you join questions, which is supposedly the most searched, I could understand that. This question right here I like. Did the Navy end up being what you expected? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not negatively. Not positively. It's just, you only know so much. You only know what you hear. You only know what you see on the internet. Stories. And so you'll never know what to expect. So it's better to just have no expectation at all and just experience it and be open and be a student of it. If you could go back, would you still join? Why or why not? If I could go back in time, I would still join, absolutely. It was so valuable to get away from my hometown, get away from everything that I'm familiar and comfortable with. Not to say that those things were all bad, but just for growth, personal development as a person. It's so valuable to get out of your comfort zone and away from what you're comfortable with and familiar with. You just learn so much that way. And so I would absolutely join again if I could go back to when I was 17. Lifestyle and day-to-day reality. What does a normal day actually look like? Normal day actually looks like a normal 9-to-5 job about anywhere that you'll go, with its own little twist. Unique some days, more unique than other days. You can expect about the same job, same hours as any other job. Monday through Friday you work. There's certain situations like deployments and stuff that come up where you might work the weekends or like a Saturday of the weekends or whatnot, but for the most part you're gonna work 9 to 5 or 7 to 4 with PT involved. That's a unique thing that I believe most jobs don't have. You guys all work out together. Lunchtime, normal day to day. For me, I'm a CM. My place of duty where I work is the maintenance shop. We perform preventative maintenance on equipment. So that's like your oil changes, filters, and lubrication items like that. And then, of course, when things break, we're also responsible for ordering new stuff and putting new stuff on said equipment. Pretty straightforward, like what you would expect from really a mechanic in whatever world you see it from. So that's no surprise. There's a lot of trainings over a lot of various stuff that come up randomly. Some of them virtual, some of them in person, just depends. And yeah, so I would say, all in all, just expect to work like a normal job with some unique twists. And it's interesting. It's rarely ever the same. There'll be spans of time, like months, that it'll be seemingly like very repetitive and the same. But then you gotta change your mind. You gotta change your perspective a lot of the times. That's the issue. How often are you away from home, and how does that long term feel? For me personally, I visit home about 2 times a year. That's been like the trend, the average of the last 3 years. About 2 times a year, Christmas and July 4th. You get 30 days a year of leave, of PTO. You accumulate 2.5 days of leave per month. So that adds up to 30 days in the calendar year. And you can essentially use that time whenever you want, as long as there's not things going on that would inhibit you to do that. And how does it affect relationships, dating, and family life? Your connections with your family definitely slows down, because obviously you're not there anymore, and you're gonna be talking on the phone and stuff like that. But you'll realize over time that that's just enough. You'll realize after going home enough times that you're building your own life wherever you're at, and it's something to be proud of. So it's bittersweet. It is bittersweet. You see all the issues, and you realize that you're having the same issues as people back home in their everyday lives. Because another thing, like, you crave to be normal sometimes, or at least from my experience, like, just crave to work a simple job, like, if you're close to me and we bullshit, I have this like fantasy about working at a movie theater and just like being low key and making popcorn every once in a while and stuff like that. So you definitely miss sometimes life just being a little slow and simple, because things here can surely get complicated and stressful. That's no surprise. I like this question. Do you feel more purpose or less after being in? I struggled with this for a long time. Before I joined the Navy, I did flooring with a family member. I felt like I was on top of the world. I was just out of high school. I was making my own money. I enjoyed the person I worked with. He was like a big brother to me. And it was a really cool environment. He ran his own business, and I felt free, and I felt like an adult and stuff. And I came into the military, and it was kind of the opposite from that. Like, you get told what to do a lot, and you kind of almost feel like you lose a sense of yourself, of freedom in a way. But a thing that I've only recently discovered is you're going to be assigned a purpose in the military. Whatever your job is, you're going to be assigned that is your purpose. But that doesn't mean you can't create a purpose from yourself to whatever you want it to be. Recently, there was some unfortunate things that occurred in my workplace. People passing away. And as unfortunate as it was, I learned that my purpose is people and team building and being a part of a team and being there for people. So for a long time, I was working off of my assigned purpose as a construction mechanic. And I found myself miserable some days. because I might not be so fulfilled by fixing equipment, but I am fulfilled by connecting with people and team building and like building cool relationships and dynamics and laughing. Like, it's all about laughter. You gotta remember to laugh. This is not just military specific. Like, in your life, if you're just someone that's not interested in this at all, like, laughing is so important. Connection is so important, and the relationships that you're building every day are important. That's another huge thing that I've learned, is that people are everything. You know, like, some of my hardest times here would have been unbearable if I didn't have someone to laugh with, someone to joke with, or someone to talk about how hard it is with, because they were sharing the mutual grief or the pain of it. So I would encourage you to definitely invest your attention into learning how to be good at your job, or like how to function in it, at least, because I'm not good at mine. Just how to do it. But then branch off and invest your time into creating a new purpose also. Like, it could be just being the person with the best mood, or whatever. Insert whatever. Which skills actually translate to civilian life and which don't. You know, so obviously I haven't gotten out, but I will say, especially in the Seabee community, unfortunately, just the way that things work, you might not get to work your actual job as much as you believe so. And it's because there's a lot more that goes into it with the way that the Navy operates. A lot more that goes into it. A lot more planning, a lot more security measures, you know, keeping everybody safe. There's a lot of things that go into it that also take up a lot of time. So you might not spend as much time wrenching or swinging a hammer as you will planning for what you're going to do next and such things like that. It's very organized and it has to be done a certain way. So, trades wise, you might not learn how to be the best carpenter or mechanic because you're busy learning other skills as well, like leadership, like team building, like learning how to be accountable, disciplined. Like, you learn these things all at the same time, and it's a lot to learn. And so, in my opinion, the skills that I will take with me to the civilian life are definitely the people skills that I've accumulated over anything. Realizing the importance of people, realizing what it means and what it feels like to be a team, and what it should be and what it isn't. What intention should someone have before signing that contract? Your intention should be why you want to in the first place. Don't join because it looks cool. And a lot of people use the reason that they just want to serve their country. While it's noble, it's honorable, you're doing it for you, and in the process helping people and serving your country in the process, yes. But become clear on your why. Is it because you need some structure in your life? Is it because you want to see more of the world? You want to meet new people? You want to discover yourself? You want to go to school? You want to insert whatever? Become clear on your why. Just as you become clear on what you want. So whatever job you want, become that clear on why you're actually joining. And I recommend probably writing it down somewhere. I don't know if you guys journal or whatnot, but I would definitely write it down somewhere, because it definitely changes over time, and it's cool to see how that changes. Like, the reasons that I had to join when I did are like different than my perspective now, and it's cool to think about every once in a while, because my why back then has been over delivered on, and I've had to discover new whys, if that makes sense. One more question here. How much free time do you really have? I think I was concerned about this whenever I first joined. I didn't know if I would have time to just be a person. And you totally do. You absolutely have time to just be a normal person. Here, I can only speak on here in my experiences. You go to work, you get off work. There's no curfew, there's no bedtime, none of that stuff. You can go to your friend's house, you can go out to eat, you can go clubbing, you can go to the bar, whatever. Like, you can get into whatever you want to get into. Still, you can be your own person still. You can have a social life. You can pursue hobbies. Like, I have the time to be interested in making YouTube videos and the resources to be able to get the camera that I'm using and stuff of that nature. So you have absolutely the same amount of time as anybody else in any other job. And so that shouldn't be a concern. Like, early on in your Navy experience, like, it's going to be a little like stressful and fast paced, like boot camp to A school. Seabees, they go from boot camp to A school, which is where they learn the basics of their job, and then they go straight to ECS, which is where you learn how to shoot and like basic medical treatment. Sorry guys, my camera overheated, sitting in this hot car. Got the AC off, so it's not too loud. But go to ECS, learn basic medical combat skill kind of stuff. Pretty cool. I had a lot of fun in ECS. But I'm kind of running dry here on things to talk about, maybe, and think about stuff that people wonder, because there's a lot of questions, there's a lot of things that you're wondering, and there's a lot of things that you don't know. And that's okay. Feel free to reach out to me on Instagram, TikTok, or even comment on this video. If there's any more things that you guys would like to see regarding to like military lifestyle mentally or based on my own experience, I will do my best to provide that content. To close off the video, to leave you with one final thing: go into it with no expectations. Go in there like a sponge, learn it, study it, and you're gonna be alright. Nothing really to be scared about. It's worth it. It's worth it to try at least one contract. I am still unsure what I'm gonna do, stay in or get out. Totally up in the air. So I hope this helped you guys. If it did, let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe for more, and share it if it was helpful. Peace.